Hey everybody, welcome to my usual mean. Welcome to a Chronicles of Elyria actually said something you might care about live stream. That's right, I got it all out without stumbling. That's amazing for me right now. So, guys, Jeremy Walsh came on and they put up a episode 3 of Inside Chronicles of Elyria, their update on why you shouldn't sue them, or so it seems. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go over this right now. I actually took notes on this because for the first 2 videos that Jeremy Walsh has put out, if you guys don't know, Chronicles of Elyria was an MMO that was in production, and it folded last year when COVID happened, and in which they blamed COVID for a good portion of it. When a lot of people believe that it was misappropriation of funds, and even though there was an internal audit, no one has seen this internal audit, so there's a lawsuit going on. There's a class action lawsuit going on over this video game because a lot of people put in a lot of money. I put in some money myself. I'm actually invested in this game, but there's a class action lawsuit against the company, and yet Jeremy Walsh is insisting that the game is going forward. But the last 2 videos, he has not said anything of substance, nothing of substance, and yet this one today, we actually get a little something as far as what their plans are. We actually have a roadmap. We're going to see what they're going to say. Thank you for that audio check, Monagard. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and flip it, and we're going to go through this piece by piece, step by step, with what he has to say. Mostly, I'm going to probably just not be liking his face too much because I just don't like his smiling face too much because the man lied to a lot of people. I feel like, but that's my own opinion. And remember, no matter what I say in this video, I am not a lawyer, so do not take anything I say as legal advice because I'm going to say some things during this live stream that your lawyer may or may not agree with if you are actually in the class action lawsuit. I'm not in the class action lawsuit at the moment because I'm not, for reasons. And so we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and flip this right quick, and let's go ahead and see what Jeremy has to say, and then we'll go over my notes. Or I'll go as we go. If you guys need me to turn this up, just let me know. If it's not loud enough for you, just holler.
Hey all, it's Jeremy here from Soulbound Studios. Welcome to episode 3 of Inside Chronicles of Elyria. In the last episode, we spoke about the adjustments we as a studio were making, and how, for now, we're placing our time and resources into the domain, settlement, and land management side of Chronicles of Elyria. In this episode, we're going to talk more about how and why, and what the rest of 2021 looks like for Soulbound Studios. From the beginning, Chronicles of Elyria was designed to provide different player experiences depending upon your interests. While everyone who plays begins life in a settlement, many of you will go on to create your own. For those that
All right, so for those of you who don't know, I'm actually, I have a mayor ticket. I bought a mayor package. So and for a lot of my community, this is why we're doing this live, because I wanted my community to join in on the conversation. A lot of you guys, kicked over some tokens. You wanted to get involved in it. You could use some more volume. Okay, we'll turn it up a little bit more. Anyway. So some of you actually kicked some money over to the town that was supposed to be being created by me and my community and our community. And so that's why I wanted to go ahead and put this live. So because I know some of you were particularly invested in, including Monagard and Malora. I don't know if Dan, if you were involved with the town or not, but I don't think Explosive was. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Anyway, this is why I'm so invested in this. I'm still invested in it because we might have a future in a couple of years, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I have an idea on what they're trying to do here, and I'll tell you at the end.
COE seamlessly blends an MMORPG with a colony or settlement sim. You'll have both player and NPC citizens you'll have to care for and keep happy, resources you must balance, and changing conditions in which to respond to. But most importantly, you'll need to attract citizens with the necessary skills to your settlement to help it thrive. And the only way to do that is to recruit them from other settlements.
Now you look at this, You see, I'm going to back this up for a second. Look at how framey this video footage is. This is one of the things that worries me, is because, usually when a studio shows you footage of their gameplay, and and this is every piece of footage I've ever seen from this company, it's always been choppy. It's like, am I looking at it at 30 frames per second? Am I going crazy? Does it look choppy to you guys? Because it looks really choppy to me. I'm gonna back that up. We're gonna see that one more time. Look at this.
Necessary skills to your settlement to help it thrive, and the only way to do that
Look how
to
choppy
recruit
that
them
is.
from other settlements. If all goes well, you may find yourself in a position to contest a noble title and take ownership of a county, duchy, or kingdom. At this point, COE incorporates mechanics typically found in grand strategy games. You'll be responsible for selling land to others, awarding titles, creating laws, managing trade agreements, and of course, defending your titles from enemies.
Now you see this right here. This is the plots that people would be buying if they settled on in the town's property lines. These are the plots. This is how big the plots are going to be. For those of you who are wondering, this is how big they're supposed to be, I believe. Which is not very big. Not very big. 20 to 25 frames. I know, right, Ash? I know. It's like 20, 25 frames. That's what it's like. What gen computer are you working on, bud? Are you working with? I mean, you got to bring it up to 60 frames. When my frames drop to like 40 or 45, I can tell, and it bothers me because it should not be that way. Anybody, I mean, a studio that made millions of dollars off of the people who gave them money should have bought proper computers. That's all. Anyway, we'll just continue on.
Both foreign and domestic. So most importantly, you'll need to maintain a positive relationship with your allies, vassals, and liege, many or all of which may be other players. While the integrated colony sim and grand strategy mechanics are there as a layer on top of the MMORPG, we've always been passionate about ensuring they're fun in their own right. The
What's up, Balthazar? What's up, Hunter?
Settlements and the conflict created through player-run domains is a key part of what makes COE more than a theme park or sandbox MMO, and we want to make sure we get it right. So we've long planned to test these mechanics through an isolated user experience called Kingdoms of Elyria.
Okay, now they're talking about Kingdoms of Elyria, and they've talked about this in the past, but I wasn't sure exactly what they meant by it. So it looks like that they're starting with the pre-alpha, but they're finally going to relinquish some of this stupid control that Jeremy just seems like he could not get rid of. Like this guy, he had to have his neck around this thing so tight that the game could not go forward because he wouldn't let it go. And this Kingdoms of Elyria they're talking about right now, I think it's the only way they're going to be able to get the game to be tested because they're going to have to do it externally. He says we always planned on it, but we never saw that. So anyway, I'm babbling here.
Giving us an opportunity for early player feedback and iteration. And while we've explored options for using a simple web-based interface or something more robust for the front end, the back end has always been the same used for the rest of COE. This concept of same gameplay mechanics and server code, different user experience, is vital to our strategy going forward and leads us to the next step in our roadmap toward completing Chronicles of Elyria.
Okay, so he's talking about same gameplay mechanics and server code and different user experience. What they're basically doing is they're doing the same thing that they're going to basically do the same business model as Bitbox did with Life is Feudal, I think, with the beginner island, which is free, and then they had the big map. But now Bitbox went under. Bitbox closed down. They closed up shop because it didn't work for them. So I don't know what Jeremy and his people are thinking. Actually, I do know what they're thinking. So we'll continue. Hang on. I got a lot I want to say at the end, but we got to get through this first.
With that in mind, I'm pleased to reveal that Kingdoms of Elyria is moving from a test-only platform to a fully fledged standalone product.
They're going to sell Kingdoms of Elyria to the people who haven't bought a package yet. That's what they're going to do to test their systems so that they eventually can get Chronicles of Elyria off the ground. They're going to make, this is how they're like, how are we going to make it? We're out of money. How are we going to make money? Because they're going to sell Kingdoms of Elyria to the people who haven't bought packages yet.
which, being an existing backer reward for Chronicles of Elyria, is being provided free for all COE backers with an Illyrian pledge package or higher.
Okay, right there. If you already have a pledge package, you're going to get this for free. I will get it for free. And anybody who has a pledge package is going to be able to play this Kingdoms of Elyria for free. Now, this is where my I am not a lawyer comes into play. If they give you something and you take advantage of that and you use it and you play it, that's their loophole, I think. If you're in a class action lawsuit, you probably should not, in my opinion, and my non-legal opinion, should not play Kingdoms of Elyria, because that will probably make your lawsuit null and void. But they're claiming they're going to use Kingdoms of Elyria to make Chronicles of Elyria happen down the road. So are they legally obligated to give you your money back yet? I don't know. But I feel like this is their loophole that they're creating, and this is also the way that they're going to create more money so that they can continue with production. But are they continuing with production? Are we actually going to see Chronicles of Elyria down the road? I don't know. Let's listen to the
Regardless of
rest.
whether you pledge your support through Kickstarter or our website. And I can't stress this enough. Development on Kingdoms of Elyria doesn't prevent development on COE. Quite the opposite. They're the same. All engineering work and design decisions feed directly into COE's development and is a necessary step in bringing both aspects of the game together. The systems we're creating in Kingdoms of Elyria will be integrated with COE later down the line, meaning this release provides an opportunity to experience part of Chronicles of Elyria now.
Yeah, so I mean, what they're doing is they're using us to test it, and that's fine. That's how it should be. It should be player tested anyway, and they should be integrating what they want to integrate. But they should have done this like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they didn't. I feel like because and Jeremy said it in his own blogs. He didn't want to relinquish control. He's a control freak, in my opinion, and because of it, it ruined his company. I think that's part of what ruined his company anyway. But neither here nor there. I'm already invested. There's people saying, don't stay far away from this game. Newt, I see you, and I understand completely why you're saying that. And you're absolutely right. If you have not bought into the game, you probably should stay away from it until it becomes a fully fledged game, and then see what happens. Because they have already snubbed their community. They said, we're going to close down. All of a sudden, the class action lawsuit happened. They're like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm not going to close down. Maybe we're going to do something. But I'm looking at this. This is a Unity. Is it Unity? Is that what they said it was going to be? Unity front end? Yeah, this is a Unity front end with their proprietary Soulborn engine in the back. I'm using air quotes. You can't see me, but I'm using air quotes for proprietary because I don't know. I'm not a coder. I don't know. I can't tell if this is just Unity or if there's actually something secretive down inside the code. I don't know. Anyway, but there has to be some sort of refund plan, no matter how you put it. Oh, that's up to the lawyers. See, that's the thing. But the thing is if they give you they have not given anybody anything for their money yet. So until they do, you are, I mean, even though it might say in the paperwork, in the contract, that when you got your package, that it may not develop into a fully fledged game, and that's a loophole that they could have used. If enough people complain, a judge might go, wait a minute, we're talking about millions of dollars here. Nah, you should have, you got to give these people their money back. If they give you something and you take it, then that is part of, I mean, that may absolve them of giving you anything in the future, because they gave you something for your money, even if it's a piece of garbage. And I don't know, right here, I'm seeing basic, I'm seeing, basic stuff here, right? You got some bald dude, no hair. This is just super, super basic, early garbage. It looks like boating shoes, even though later on you're going to see it shows that in his equipment, it's going to show that it says he's wearing boots. We've got a little bit of pattern here on the clothing. This is all basic stuff. Right now it says citizenship, your settlement. He's a Naren male. He's currently walking. Your knowledge of Andre, you're new to the settlement, so they just put him in here right off the bat. And then, so this is going to be basic information about your character. I think this is your inventory, and I think this is
Being built with a
what you're
Unity
doing
front end and our
and
proprietary
what you know.
backend, the Soulborn engine, it will include an offline experience as well as a set of persistent online worlds supporting.
Like right now, you went over to this rock, and it says now he's mining. So, and you can see the animals walking around. They've got the animals in the game. They've got trees in the game. They've got rocks. So you're going to be able to be mining. I'm sure they're going to add new animations later on down the road. It is basic graphics and low FPS. It's not good. It is a basic Unity game right now. That's exactly what it is. It is a pre-alpha Unity game at the moment. Basic, and I mean, I don't like the UI. But this is for Kingdoms of Elyria. See, it says 1, 2, 5, 10, 20. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. This is for the single player experience. You're gonna have both.
Up to 5,000 players on a server, each governing a settlement, county, duchy, or kingdom. Interestingly, our need to use the same code and mechanics as the rest of Chronicles of Elyria leads to some exciting and unique design opportunities, which helps kingdoms stand apart from the crowd. First, in Kingdoms of Elyria, one of the citizens is you. You'll navigate your player's citizen around your settlement and world map to gather resources, interact with buildings and other citizens, sign agreements with neighboring aristocrats, and more. This is an especially dangerous element of the game, because whether your player's citizen dies in a hunting accident, en route to another settlement, or stabbed in the back at a local tavern, if your player's citizen dies and you don't have an heir, your game's over and you'll need to start again. Second, although citizens of your settlement are all NPCs in Kingdoms, you won't be able to click on a resource or other target and expect them to follow your instructions. You'll need to entice them by way of contracts. If the citizens don't like your offer or simply don't like you, they won't help. Finally, Kingdoms doesn't give you instant access to information. Whether you're talking about the opinions, inventory, or attributes of NPCs, or the layout and population of other settlements and domains. If you want information, you'll have to work for it. We'll talk more about the mechanics for gaining information, as well as other design topics in greater detail in future design blogs. But let's talk about the Kingdoms roadmap for a moment. Kingdoms of Elyria is being released in 4 stages. The first stage, which is planned for release late this year.
Okay, stop right there. It says late this year. Okay, Jeremy is very careful about what he says. He's reading from a script here. He says late this year, not later this year, late this year, which is gives him all the way up to December 31st to put anything out. So it's like, dude, I mean, you know, you're telling us you got a roadmap here, and I know that it's supposed to be vague. Roadmaps are vague on purpose because, you know, they don't want people to, and they don't want to get pinned down with a certain date. But it's like, man, come on, you got to give us something. And so, I mean, right now, dude's still blowing smoke. He still hasn't given us anything. But I'm seeing footage that I've never seen before, which interests me. This is why I wanted to make this video, because I wanted to see what you guys think. And I see what you're looking at. So far, it feels like a multiplayer version of Banished, or 1/3 the amount of FPS. Yeah, right. But that could be just that could be a lot of things. I mean, I wanted your opinion on the frames, because that concerns me. But the game itself, the animals and the person walking, aren't choppy. You know what I mean? The frames are choppy, but the animal action and the person walking is smooth. Does that make sense? They can release some content, then delay for a year. They did it in Elite. What do you, Elite Dangerous, you mean, Balthazar? Anyway, so what they're doing though is he's talking about how, let me back this up. How he's talking about how your player, your NPC, or your player character, if it dies, you have to start over. Like if you own a town, and the or you own a duchy, or you own a kingdom, or whatever. If you're a king, or you're a duke, or you're like I'm a mayor, so this would be like my town right here, right, or our town. If you die, all of a sudden you have to start over, and you are no longer you're no longer an aristocrat, or you're no longer that business owner, you're no longer that farmer or whatever. So an NPC would take over until somebody else could be assigned to it, right? So this right here, the Kingdom of Elyria, is so you can take and you can build a town from a like a hamlet all the way up to a city-sized town, so that you know how it's going to work, so that you have a better chance of success. I like that idea. I just don't like all the previous crap that we've had to go through to get to this point. But here, let me go ahead and finish this up.
Follow your instructions. You'll need to entice them by way of contracts. If the citizens don't like your offer, or simply don't like you, they won't help. Finally, Kingdoms doesn't give you instant access to information. Whether you're talking about the opinions, inventory, or attributes of NPCs, or the layout and population of other settlements and domains. If you want information, you'll have to work for it. We'll talk more about the mechanics for gaining information.
I don't know what this
as well
fog
as
of
other
war is
design
either.
topics in greater detail in future design blogs.
I feel like this is...
But let's talk about the Kingdoms roadmap for a moment. Kingdoms of Elyria is being released in 4 stages. The first stage...
We already talked
is
about that.
as you grow from a hamlet to a large capital-sized settlement.
Like, see, what I was talking about is you grow from a hamlet to a large settlement. So this is going to be the single player version, right? You're going to be able to, and this is basically going to be Banished, or Life is Feudal, Forest Village. You know what I mean? That's basically what they're building here right now, which is supposed to be for us to play test all of the mechanics without losing our characters. And then they're going to feed that information and update into Chronicles of Elyria, so that down the road, it's going to be like 3 years, 4 years from now. And the problem with that, is that engines are going to continue to advance. And I mean, they're hoping they're going to make enough money to be able to launch Chronicles of Elyria by selling this. I bet you. I almost guarantee you this is going to be for sale. 100%. RuneScape graphics. It's a little better than RuneScape, but they're also zoomed out. He's in God mode. You're not up close and personal with this stuff yet.
In this mode, you can start,
but you're not wrong.
fast forward, or restart a new game whenever you want on procedurally generated maps made up of a subset of the COE starting biomes. Additionally, we know there will be 4 opportunities to alpha test.
Now watch how this fog of war comes in. This is what I don't understand.
Coming up in just a few months. More information
it's
being
light.
provided on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stages of development in an accompanying blog post. Our intention when we started Soulbound Studios was to enrich people's lives, developing experiences
The rest of it's
that
blah, blah,
fuel
blah, blah, blah.
imagination and provide accessible, engaging, and meaningful interaction through entertainment and technology. And while it's true we fell down last year, we've picked ourselves up, have a plan in place for the future, and myself, as well as our former lead designer, lead 3D artist, sound engineer, and composer, are passionately moving forward.
Okay. In the last 2 videos, he talked about I. Rarely heard him say we. Now he's talking about it's a team of 5 people, guys. It's Jeremy, Adam, Maxwell, who's known as Snipe Hunter, if you guys remember who he was. The lead 3D artist is Eddie Smith. So Jeremy and Eddie put this together originally. Then sound engineer and composer. The only thing I could find was Mason F and Sean B, and I don't know who those people are. So Telsa is enriching people's lives. Telsa. Unity isn't the best choice for engine, though Ash says, and you're not wrong, but it's free. See, it's free. Unless you make more than $100,000 in revenue, you don't have to pay anything. So you can develop whatever you want for free. That's why they're using Unity. I almost guarantee you that that's exactly what's going to happen. Is they have to give the people who invested something for free to keep the wolves at bay. And they're going to do that single play, and they're going to sell it on Steam to other people. Now, if they make it free, I'll eat my hat. My big green felt hat. I'll eat my hat if they put it up for free. It may or may not be good. Oh, I see. He's making a game. They may or may Tesla cars. I see what you're saying. Oh, he's writing he's reading from a script. I'm not reading from a script, but he is. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, I like the idea of the single player where it gives the people who are running, they're going to be run. Stop. Shush. his voice just irritates me right now because, and rightfully so, because of the way that they handled this. But anyway, so I like the idea of being able to practice with with the mechanics, and then work with the company to get the mechanics to be where we need them to be, so that when thousands of people jump in, if thousands of people do jump in, and make the kingdom work like it needs to work. Cost of battery versus fuel. Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, Balthazar, you're not wrong. I mean, I see what you're saying with that. You're not wrong. We are. I mean, so it's like great idea, very poor execution. I'm looking at these models. I'm looking at these animal models, and I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure a lot of this stuff was bought at the store, or yeah, I'm sure these models were bought.
In a position to contest.
These rivers don't look nearly as big as I expected them to. This is only a test model of the single-player game, though, but it's supposed to be randomly generated. Hey, good evening from Scotland. Hello, Scotland. How you doing, Red? I'm healing up better. Yeah. I'm much better now. I'm much better now. We're gonna be. I'm gonna be putting more content out here pretty soon. Just gotta decide what I want to do. So yeah, guys, that's the thing right there. So late this year, he's claiming that we're gonna have a single player version of this that we're going to be able to they're going to be able to work with. And he talks about how they're going to have 4 opportunities to improve. He said we have 4 opportunities to improve the game through their 4 different steps that they're going to do. Their 4 stages of development. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. All the models are very basic. Water looks kind of terrible from that view. See, that's the thing, Ash, is I didn't see anything up close and personal. Average looking trees. Yeah, it's all store-bought stuff. Because you get alpha games, pre-alpha games, all the survival games look the same. People complain about it. That's because they all buy their stuff from the same shop. Okay? You can buy the same assets. They're like, it's the asset flip. No, it's not an asset flip. They buy the assets from the same shop, and then they put it in the game. That's why it all looks the same, because they've got this big catalog of items that you can buy and put into your game, and everybody buys the same stuff. It's like, oh, this game was successful. Let's go ahead and do what they did, because it looks familiar. The fridge, a salesman in Alaska trying to sell a freezer to an Eskimo. Well, the thing is, I mean, dude really, really screwed up. We all know it. Question is, are you guys going to hang out while I play the game? I'm going to play the game because you know what? I paid for the damn game. I paid a shit ton of money for that for this game. So, and I'm not in the lawsuit, so I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to write it out and see what happens because I'm a content creator. If I was just a player, it'd be different. But I'm not. And so, I mean, no such thing as bad news when you're in the news business, right? So, I mean, I'll keep you guys appraised of what's going on. This is just a little short stream. I just wanted to, give you guys this information as fast as possible because I know there's going to be more people that are going to be, coming out with this. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get a jump on it. We'll just go live. I don't have to process it. I can get it out on YouTube really quick and we'll call it a day. So, really not much else to say about it, but I wanted to say hello to everybody, let everybody know that I am doing better after my surgery. So I hope you all are doing good. It's been 2 weeks now. I feel much better. My nose is set. It's not fully healed, but they did break it. So yeah, so I can actually breathe again. After 35 years, I can actually breathe again. Yep, that's right. So it's great. The swelling still needs to go down a little bit, but I'm actually a lot better than I was. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And we will get you something tomorrow morning. I'll see if I can't get 2 videos up for tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming in, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and get rid of him because I can't stand to look at his face right now. Anyway, thank you very much. As I always say, I am my usual me, be your usual you, and we will see you in the next video tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for watching, guys.